Over my years in this industry, I have seen many dancers fall victim to a vastly bloated sense of self in their own dancing. And sometimes for pros, this can actually benefit them because their students buy into that person's own self-hype. But I have seen this really hurt many amateur dancers, okay? And there's an actual empirically studied and proven psychology behind this called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And so this is the psychological phenomenon that occurs when a person overestimates their own knowledge or abilities in a given situation, okay? And another way to phrase this is the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, okay? And they did this study in college students, actually, in terms of their actual knowledge and how many years they've been in school studying a topic. And by the time they're ready to graduate and they've learned the most, they will rate themselves as less knowledgeable than those people just coming out of the chute who've taken 3 classes in a topic. And honestly, guys, I found myself falling victim to this mentality very early on in my career, but fortunately, immediately I came to realize how much more I had to learn about teaching. And I also, even before I turned pro, had been warned by my coaches, like, hey, just so you know, your students are going to hero worship you. And so, if you want them to be your best, become their best, be honest about your own limitations. And that's really served me and my students well, okay, in my career. Now, I have seen this many, many, many times, even more so in the amateur ballroom dance world. So I'm sure you've been to those social dances where some yahoo out there is dragging people around the floor and they think they're God's gift. And they're like the least desirable partner in the room. I know we've all been there. It's not just in my area of the world. Okay, and number 2, I have seen this even in my own students, sadly. I had a couple where the follow continued to dance with me and just switched partners, but the lead suddenly thought he was God's gift when he won 2 national titles in syllabus. And so he independently came to the conclusion that he way outgrew me as a teacher, and he was going to teach himself by watching videos of himself dance. Hey, good luck with that. And sure enough, he wasted an entire year practicing 24/7, literally quit his job. And he got pounded at nationals the next year. I mean, didn't even make it out of 1 round. So to go from winning 2 national titles to having your butt completely wiped off the floor, it was a really sobering experience for him. And at that point, I'm not interested in teaching this student anymore. I'm already emotionally invested in other students. And I value the students who value me, okay? So I would really caution you to avoid this hubris. This often, in terms of competitors, and most of us on her channel here are competitors, I see this rear its ugly head when people get to the novice level. So they've just finished learning the gold, essentially, and now suddenly, well, I know everything. And I got news for you. You have just started your journey, if that's the stage that you're in, okay? And again, pros, the weakest point, in my opinion and my observation in their career, is when they kind of very first move to a town or they very first turn pro. They think they are God's gift to that community. And the reality is, as they start to teach, they realize how much more they need to learn to become a really skilled, truly skilled teacher and create the best dancers that they're capable of. Okay. And keeping that humility in mind has served me and my students so well in my career. And so my advice to competitors, I don't care how amazing you think you are. I don't care what your accomplishments are. You are not as amazing as you might think, okay? Every single one of us, even world champions, have strengths and weaknesses, okay? And as for teachers, if you're feeling like you're God's gift, related to this, if you're super possessive of your students, like, well, you can't take with anyone else because I am the best one and only God's gift to dancing. Guys, it's just a sign that you don't know what the heck you're doing, okay? And you need to take a good look in that mirror. And also ask, are you just being selfish because you want to pad your pocketbook, okay? Just be aware of this Dunning-Kruger effect, and that you might not realize this is coming into play and holding you back as a competitor, as an amateur dancer, holding you back as a teacher, because ultimately we are all human. And so we are prone naturally to these same weaknesses and biases. So hope that helps, guys. Have an awesome day. If you're interested in all things ballroom dance, hey, hit that subscribe button. We are a worldwide community of ballroom dancers here. We have the same struggles, the same goals, the same joys. And if you have anything you would like to add to what I've talked about today, please comment below, because not only am I interested, but I am ultimately one ballroom dancer in a world of ballroom dancers. And we all love and benefit from hearing your stories. So thanks for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you first thing in the morning with some more ballroom dance hot tea. Okay, guys, happy dancing. Bye.